Welcome, guys. Welcome to That's a GG. I'm here with my cousins, Manny and Josiah. We're here to talk about a little bit of everything. First, we're going to talk about a game we do like to play, and it's called Smite. There is a fan base out there. I know there is. I just haven't found them yet. But I know there is a fan base out there. What is Smite, Manny, if you would like to...
So Smite is a MOBA, or a multiplayer online battle arena, which has come to Xbox and PS4, which was previously on PC.
All right, so that's the quickest explanation I've ever heard of any video game ever, because at least I know somebody that knows that they can. So Smite, yeah, it's a MOBA, that's what it's called. Definitely for those who are into challenges, but definitely not for those who are afraid of that don't want to get banned, because you are more than likely, if you're an Xbox person, you at least got banned maybe one time playing Smite. I don't know. I think Smite was the first game I've ever owned to get banned from something. I've never got banned from anything on Xbox until Smite. Smite was the first game I ever got banned. Goes to show how the family is there. But yeah, no, Smite's definitely a cool game. It's based on the gods, all type of gods, Greek gods. What else? What's that other type of?
They got Japanese gods.
Japanese. What else?
Irish or Celtic gods.
Oh, the Celtic gods. Okay, so so we're talking about gods like Medusa, gods like Fenrir,
Thor,
Apwash. We got so many gods out there. We're just gonna go ahead and talk about our favorite gods, our favorite characters, and so on. So first, we'll go on to Manny here. Manny, who's your favorite god, man?
So my favorite god is Anubis, which he's an Egyptian god who one of his abilities is he throws wasps, and the wasps are dangerous to people. He could also wrap people up in mummy like wrapping, and he can throw up hands that can grab people. And his finishing move is he shoots out a laser.
So cool. So Anubis is an Egyptian god. For those who don't know, each god has 4 abilities. One ability usually does. They all do damage, but one ability does more damage than the other, and it all goes on based on how you combo them up and basically use them together in order to do more damage, or to get a kill when necessary, or to even get an assist when somebody's in danger, or it's just an all-out team fight. Josiah, who's your favorite?
Kronos, and his first is he has this boomerang and he can change it according to the 4 seasons, so like summer, fall, winter, and summer.
Spring.
Spring. And his second ability is, I believe, he throws this ball, and when it hits the ground, weeds come up, and it can stun the person, and it does damage to them when they walk through it. And he also has this charge ability, so you can charge in, and if it hits a player, it hits an enemy god, it hurts them. And then his final, which is his ult, is it has a circle, and then if anybody is in that circle, when it finishes, it turns them into a pig for a certain amount of time.
So we've all you can see how this game is. There's all these, like I told you, there's 4 abilities, and there's always one ultimate. As for Anubis, his is shooting out basically a laser. As for Kronos, he does turn people into pigs, because what Kronos is he's a hunter. He's a hunter god. So in what his pantheon is basically his story is, he's basically almost a hunter and kills animals and does all that kind of stuff. As for me, my favorite god, I'm gonna have to go with Apwash. It's always been my favorite god. He's actually my first diamond ever on that game. He has the same thing, 4 abilities. He throws he's kind of like basically the god of the dead, basically, almost kind of. He throws zombies. His first ability, he can pop the zombies' corpses, so they pop. He also can do his ultimate, which is almost like a ghost, where a bunch of ghosts come out like running from the ground, and they kind of attack the other team, whoever's in the area. But Smite is definitely a cool game. For those who are looking for a challenge, there are things called like a conquest, which is 3 lanes, 5 characters in total, and you basically, right? Is it 5 or 6?
I think 5.
So it's 5. It is 5. To a carry, a support, a mid, a solo, and a jungler. And it's all about who can take their lanes down with the help of a jungler, running through all the lanes, and who can take the Titan and destroy the Titan first. For those who are there just to want to get a feel for the game, and I would say getting a feel, learning the game better, and just kind of playing as all the characters, I would say Arena, just to get out to know the abilities and learn the abilities of all the characters. And as for Clash, it's almost along the lines of a Conquest, but it's a step smaller. So if you're done with Arena, you take that step to Clash, and then from Clash you would take that step to Conquest. And the same thing for Assault. Assault's just I think Assault's more on the competitive side only because it's 5v5 in one big lane. So I think that's where you have to. I think that, to me personally, I think that's where you got to compete. It's definitely and on top of that, it's random god, so you don't get to choose. So don't forget about that. You'd have to be able to play any god to join that game, unless you're up for the challenge and you're just like, you know what, let's go for it. Then you click on it, but they give you random gods, and then it's a one whole lane. 5v5. So
and
I
you
think
can't heal once you're.
Exactly, you can't heal, you can't get your mana back unless you buy potions and all this, which is the whole technical aspect of the game. But for those that don't have the game and want to play it, I'd say it is free. But in order for you to play all the gods, you have to pay $29.99. Definitely worth it. I do play it still today. But it's definitely a fun game to watch. A fun game to see people play, and a fun game to play as well.
Especially if the people who like this game called League of Legends, Smite is much like that, but it has its own twist on the MOBA genre. So yeah, I think people would like that game.
Yeah, so there you go. You got it from Manny, you got it from Josiah. So on to what's next, which is what I'm a little bit late on because I haven't been able to post a video since all this new content that has come out, E3 and all the new things coming out. We all have something personally what we think we're excited to look forward to. I'm going to start off with Manny. He's going to go off what he was most excited about in E3, and we'll continue from there.
What I'm excited from E3 is basically the new Assassin's Creed Origins, and it's new. It's like a new take on the genre, and I really like it. They're taking like the Zelda aspect of it, how the new Breath of the Wild is an open world, and you're able to create your own weapons and all that gear. So it's gonna be much like that, and I think that's like a new twist, and it's gonna make the series fresh.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I've always been an Assassin's Creed guy. I've played them all. But actually, I'm happy that they took the year off because of what they did to make the new one. But I think I was a big Assassin's Creed guy. I played up to Unity. I didn't play Syndicate because I just figured it was going to be the same thing as the past games. Personally, my favorite one is Assassin's Creed 3 with a Native American. I forget his name. But that game has to be my favorite Assassin's Creed as of right now. But I'm definitely looking forward to Origins. You could freaking turn into the eagle. You can shoot things more than one item shoot more than one arrow at a time. It's
you could climb pyramids and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool from the aspect that they're going towards ancient Egypt, which is awesome. I think it's just it's a whole new look on everything because it was kind of taking a direct. It was going to French Revolution. Kind of, taking in the angle British, I thought they needed to do that where they changed it going towards the jungle or towards the desert. I feel that needed to happen. But that's I think Assassin's Creed Origins is gonna be dope, man. I think it is really be fun. So next it's to my man Josiah here. What did you find best at E3, man?
The Activision side, Call of Duty World War II. Hopefully it's really good. They when they first announced that they were going back to their roots, I was really excited because these past 3 years with this futuristic. At first it was okay, but then it started getting repetitive, and so I'm happy that they're going back to their roots.
Yeah, I think that's my thing too. I think going back to the roots is the best thing you could possibly do with the game. It's definitely gonna be something fun to play. I also like that Activision can go out there and get actors and bring actors from real life to be in their games. So it's always fun to see that, and always cool to see how they can work that in there and just make it make sense. So I mean, video games are becoming more of an art, and it's becoming more of theatrical too. It's not about just here's a game, figure it out, play. It's about making a story, making a movie, and turning it into something where people can get into interacted with a movie. It's almost so. I think Call of Duty is gonna be awesome. I definitely can't wait for that. I hated the space and the. I definitely. I mean, I understand where they were. I understand Modern Warfare where they didn't. Where it was modern technology and soldiers nowadays. How soldiers are in war now, which was awesome, and I think they should have kept it a little bit more. But they gave it Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, and jumped straight into future, no breaks.
Well, I think those kind of like the Black Ops 2.
Black Ops was good,
in
Black
the middle,
Ops,
and then Advanced.
Black Ops was leading to the future, which was
that was a perfect mix.
Yeah, and then from there they jumped straight into it. And I mean, I don't mind, but if I wanted it to be jumping around the whole map, shooting in the air, I would have gotten Halo and done that in Halo, just jumping.
They haven't even announced DLC 3 yet for Infinite Warfare.
I know. So.
And by this time, Black Ops 3 DLC 3 was already pre-downloaded.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the community can agree that Infinite Warfare was a disappointment. Well, we already knew it was going to be a disappointment, and all this feature stuff is kind of getting boring.
And now the sales are dropping because Modern Warfare just became.
Even Black Ops 3 is still putting out DLCs and putting out zombie DLCs, and I mean,
oh my god,
and they're coming out, and those are nice. I haven't gotten them. I don't know if they're.
I want played it. It's
the remastered.
Yes,
I want. That's what I want.
It's basically the It's like basically like Origins Black Ops 2, but they added these new guns and they added the addition of gobble gums. It kind of makes it easier, but harder at the same time because they've changed a lot of things. Like they changed the step where on the Easter egg where all you have to do is switch the fire staff in. Mm-hmm. They took that out, so now you have to actually run and do all of this, and it makes it harder but more fun at the same time.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. Well, me personally, since I do have a Nintendo Switch, the thing I look forward to the most is Mario Odyssey. Man, I just been wanting a Mario game. I think when people get Nintendo, the first thing they do think about is Mario. And I mean, personally, I just got Zelda, so I mean, I'm playing that, and that's amazing. Graphics, story, everything's amazing about Zelda. So I could only imagine what Nintendo's gonna go out there and do with. I mean, they're obviously not the same manufacturer, but I know Nintendo has their their standards, and they want the best out of a gaming experience. So I know Mario's is gonna be amazing. Mario's gonna be fun. So from what I've seen, climbing the walls, open world, it's a city, and it's not only hat. And his hat that he could throw his hat off and it has eyes. I think it's freaking cool that they're going out there all out with Mario.
It's kind of like Sunshine.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I'm actually, I think it's actually very fun. I think it's gonna be dope. I'm definitely looking forward to Mario, and we'll see what they do. Let's see what they bring out more, because they're at a point where they don't have too much out, so there's only like 3 or 4 games. Yeah. But I mean, from what they have brought out, they have been fun.
Yeah, they have been selling out.
Yeah, so I've played. I have Mario Kart 8. I have 1-2 Switch. I have Zelda. I mean, they've all been games where they bring people together and make them. And that's another thing that I've always liked about the Switch, that it brings people together, and it's more about just than you by yourself. You can play with everyone. Yeah. So I think it's really cool. So anything else, guys, you want to talk about? We got games. You want to take a quick jump into that Jumanji trailer that we've been talking about?
Oh, yes.
So for those that, are big movie heads and that have seen the first Jumanji, these guys have forgot what the first Jumanji was about. But me, I remember that. So they go from going to board games to video games. Now, a lot of people are in this spot right now where they're like, I do like it. Some people are like, no, they should have stuck to the original. I think it's dope. I think it's cool. I understand from a business aspect, because they need to attract to a younger crowd, and kids nowadays are more about video games, and young adults like me we've grown into the stage from board games to video games, so we know what it is, the transition. But a lot of people that love the classic don't like the change. I like the change. What do you guys think about the change from board game to video game?
It appeals to me. It's like, I mean, I like how they kept it like where it's like the video game, it's like retro kind of. It's not like advanced.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like
it's almost deterring. Like a Nintendo almost.
Yeah, like they're not like deterring that far. But I feel like for kids like me and the kids of younger age, I feel like they'll go to enjoy it, and then they'll be able to finally talk to their parents and they have something to like talk about, like how they
It
can.
was something to connect.
Yeah,
with.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not really liking it because of Robin Williams and.
Yeah,
when he's
remaking
dead.
remaking that with Robin Williams being post Robin Williams in his
Yeah.
life. I get that's
A lot of people are feeling like it's disrespectful towards him, but I think it's like a fun new twist, and it's able to get people to watch the older one and maybe.
yeah, exactly. Try to compare them.
Yeah.
Almost.
It's like if you don't like the new one, then don't watch it. You can still watch the older one.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's true though. I think it is. That's exactly what it is. I think it's like it's all on you. Like it's on you what you like. What's your favorite taste? Of the movie. If you do like it, if you don't, I mean, I think personally, I'm gonna like it. I was a wrestling fan growing up, so The Rock's in there. So I mean, just anything with The Rock to me, I love it. Kevin Hart, very funny guy. Jack Black, and the crazy part is these guys are like. They're the main characters, but then again, they're not the main characters. You know what I'm saying? They're playing like as other kids. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the trailer, go look at the trailer. You'll understand what I mean. So now it leads us to the next movie, which also has a game coming out for it too. Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man Homecoming is a very anticipated movie. It's gonna be really cool. Vulture. I didn't see that coming, so it's gonna be cool to see Vulture as the main villain.
Yeah.
And not only that, Iron Man is gonna be in it, which is awesome. I love Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, so
True.
It's gonna be great to see Tony Stark again. And what do you guys expect from Spider-Man? What do you think it's gonna be?
I think Michael Keaton is gonna do a great job as the Vulture because in his past he did the Batman, the
original, yeah.
the original Batman. So I'd like to see.
I think 1980s.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see how he's gonna do in this role as the villain of the movie, and so I think he's gonna do a good job. And Tom Holland as Peter Parker and Spider-Man, I heard he's doing amazing. So I think he's gonna be the best Spider-Man ever.
Well, so I think this movie is gonna be more. It's not gonna be as much as an introduction, but I feel like the first half of it will be an introduction to Spider-Man and to Tom Holland and to his life, which is mostly about almost every introduction, almost every redoing of the Spider-Man or every superhero movie. Their first movie is about an introduction. So I think the first half of it, or a third of it, is gonna be introduction, and then the rest is gonna be straight into Spider-Man and him action and him doing all his Spider-Man things. So I think that's what's going to be about.
Yeah, I heard this movie has a good balance between like Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and
Which
it's
is
not
good.
just like Spider-Man and not just Peter Parker.
Yeah, so that's going to be good. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it's not like mid, it's going up and then it goes down, then goes back up and then goes back down. I want it to be, if it's going to balance, I want it to balance completely where it's like, it makes sense, nothing where it drags on in some certain areas or, I expect Marvel to do good because they do good with all their movies, all their superhero movies. They've learned as they've as they've done more movies, they've learned from their past movies on what they needed to fix or what to do better on. So we'll see what this, what this Spider-Man's gonna be. What do you think about it?
I'm glad that they're doing like a non cliche villain like Venom or Sandman or like all these because
Green Goblin or anything like that.
because this is his first movie, and I think it'll be better than most of the Spider-Man movies, like the second Amazing Spider-Man, because they had I think they had, what was it, like a total of 2 villains. They had like Green Goblin, and it was just a mixture of, it was just weird because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a good, and I hopefully the game is gonna be even better.
And Sony's making, even though they gave Marvel the rights to Spider-Man, they're making a Venom movie.
Yeah, they're making a lot. They're supposed to be making a Sinister Six movie too, or where it's supposed to be all of Spider-Man's villains are supposed to have their own movie
Without Spider-Man.
And actually, yeah, now that you say Venom's coming out, Venom's gonna be amazing because it's supposed to be rated R since it's Venom. So they might be making Venom rated R, which leads to now, since we're talking about Spider-Man Homecoming, we're now gonna jump into the game. These guys just saw gameplay for the game for the first time, had to show it, and they love it. They think it's amazing. I think it's going to be great. It's unbelievable what they're doing. It almost reminds me of what Batman has. So it's good to see
Yeah,
that, and that's what's the most important part of it. He actually pointed out that it reminds him a little bit more of the Batman Arkham series, and I think that's exactly what I see as well. I just hope it's not too like corny or too kiddie. I kind of want more of an adult version of the video game to be able to play it. And I know Spider-Man's a high schooler, but I kind of want to. And when I played Spider-Man games, I always thought of like Superman games where they were just like, like they're a little too corny, a little too much. I mean, but I hope that this one's going to be the real deal, almost a little bit dark, but a little bit good, but the story being a little dark, and just being all out a good
being
game.
able to appeal to all.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the big thing.
Genres of people.
And then so it looks like you're gonna be able to do a lot, and it looks like there's a variety of ways to take out the enemies in the game. Like from what we've seen, they took out a guy with like the
like then we were fighting in a construction site, and he took him out with a piece of metal, and it was a really big piece of metal.
Yeah, so it's cool. It looks cool what you can do in the game. I think it's gonna be fun to see. It's gonna be fun to play, and for the movie, fun to watch. So definitely, you guys got a little bit of insight today on Smite. We gave you a good look on Smite, another good look on E3 and what we thought was what we're looking forward to. Mario Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Call of Duty World War II. And then a quick look at Jumanji, and then Spider-Man Homecoming and the video game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. I think we had a fun time. I think these guys, for their first time doing a video, I think they enjoyed themselves. They were a little nervous at the beginning, but they loosened up. So thanks for watching. That's a GG. That's a GG. Peace out, guys. Manny, Josiah, we out.